Da, 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 da. Hey, Steve.
Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
I wanted to tell you my pal Timothy Connolly, who fronted a band called Suck It Easy. Or
Suck
maybe it
it easy. Okay.
was Suck It Easy Band. Maybe that was their official title. I don't remember. But when the Josh Trank movie came out, I was telling him I loved it so much I could write a song about it. So he's like, okay. And so I wrote lyrics about about the Fantastic Four, and the Suck It Easy band did it as a song. It was like one of the top 5 crowning achievements of my life. Anyway, old Tim did a 19-second bit of intro music for us, so that's what
Oh,
that
shut up. Really?
Tim did our theme song. But he sent it to me over Facebook Messenger,
Messenger? Okay.
and so I don't know how to save it, nor
Send it to me.
but I don't know how to send it to you either. Like, I mean, he just said it in the middle. Anyway, it's really funny. Anyway, thanks, Tim. We'll figure this out. Like, I don't know, in a week or two.
Nice. Yeah,
But
no,
I wanted to explain that one right away.
I love it. I love it. What did I even name this one? Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think you named it Tim did our theme song or something.
Well, I think that was last week, or that was the Dork Trek.
Right, that's what I meant. So this was
Makes
supposed to
total
be
sense.
a Dork Trek theme song, but it's there's nothing sci-fi about it. I think
it.
it's I'm just gonna use it for the 2 Dork Court things because it's cool. It's like trippy and surf music kind of, but like,
Oh, I love it.
it's like
Surf fits
yeah.
the MO. I love it.
That's it. Anyway, we got tons of stuff to talk about today, don't we?
We do. And I want to, thank you for posting the article. And as you've apologized 800 times, don't know you'd never have to apologize. As the editor in chief of Dork Court, whenever you put it up is the right time. So like, yeah. I don't, and with the exception of you reading it, Mark reading it, and maybe, hey, Chris, and maybe Chris reading it. Maybe like I'm happy anyone even like opens the page. So
I totally appreciate that. That's what you think, but having been on that side of it, like that's why I hate editors, because they have, pressures on their time that the talent doesn't understand, right? I look at it like it's posted hours of operation on a store, right? If you say you're open from 9 to 6, then it's incumbent. It's a agreement you have with the world that you're going to be there at 9 o'clock. You're probably going to leave at 6.
Listen,
right?
I was a producer. I totally get it. So you never have to explain it to me.
Nah, I know, but plus you know what's going on in the world and everything, and it's just like, man, I'm going up to see my father-in-law. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I was actually happy that you held on it, because then I had to like then I had to like follow through with writing the next one. So it's kind of like when it's in when you have one that's not out yet.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, it's like, oh, I got some time, I got some breathing room. So
yeah, but plus I hope you loved all the reaction to this one too. It makes you want to write another one, because man, everybody was like, yeah, Steve, you're right. I thought that was cool.
It's funny. I think I always write them when I'm always trying to think of what the next one is. I'm always thinking now, like, would Larry have seen this? That's always my underlying. that's the first.
Yeah,
and then I'm like,
no.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, has Larry seen this? Is always my entry. Then I'm like, would Larry watch this with Walker, because Walker would like it? Okay, that's 2. And then my third is always like, does Mark like this movie? Because I'm wondering if I only like it and Mark doesn't like it, since we have pretty similar taste in movies. But he does have, when it comes to the eclectic, I always have to be like, am I the only one that likes this movie? Because that's also a possibility. So
I just love that you do that, because I didn't realize that. I knew that was happening subconsciously with you recommended cool movies, but it wasn't until 13th Warrior when I was like, hey man, like, do you want to watch this? Mr. Steve says it's pretty good. He's good on this stuff. And he's like, yeah. And man, like every scene that you love, like Walker was just like,
oh, of course.
Yeah. So the ancestors or whatever, he was like totally into it. And so then I started paying attention. I was like, all right, like Steve and I have the same kind of taste in movies. It's just you, like, I'm frosting and you're like the whole cake,
Well,
you know? So it's like,
listen,
you're always like, man, keep eating. It's really, there's some good stuff under here. And I'm like, oh, thanks for telling me. I always forget it because frosting's so good.
No, I'm with you, but you forget I worked in a video store. So when you, I saw
is,
that. Yeah,
is.
I know. I love it. But work, you see, the thing is, when you worked in a video store, I worked in the video store and one of the chains where you weren't allowed to play movies. So yeah. So what they want is they wanted you to play like that trailer screener reel.
Oh, okay.
So you were playing like trailers 24/7, and so you're just like, and I'm trying to think of the window of time when I'm working there. So there's a big window where I'm like, everything I've seen is just like the trailer of stuff. Like I joke with Mark all the time. They did Maximum Risk is the Van Damme movie with Natasha Henstridge, and the trailer, is it Maximum Risk? I think that's the one. And the trailer is just the best. I must have heard the music to that trailer 9 million times. I think it's like The Prodigy has the music. Anyway, when Mark jumps on, I'll play it for him because I know he likes it. But it would just be like, I don't know. I like I said, I've seen too many movies. So it's tough to forget stuff.
Isn't that a cool bit? Like, of course, as a marketing professional, you get like that if you see something 900 times, it's going to go in your brain. And that's how I feel about the Mortal Kombat song.
Oh, 100%.
Because we had to listen to it, that whole San Diego from the DC booth, just Liu Kang, Raiden.
Well, I'm trying.
Johnny Cage. I could do it to this day. It's like, oh my god,
who wrote that? I always mean to look up who wrote that because I'm like, that's the Immortals. Is that what it is?
I don't know.
All I know is it's been posted. Oh yeah,
I can just hear that. And like, I am still on the floor of San Diego. So thanks for nothing, DC Comics.
And now DC Comics isn't even on the floor, but you still are. Think about that.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Wow. I gotta go.
How about that full circle?
Sonia.
Yeah. Sonia
I love how Mark is in a meeting and he's still like, yeah, you can make me listen, but you can't make me pay attention.
Yeah. Well, I told Mark I'm going to save I'll save the Roadhouse conversation.
Yeah, we'll get back to it. Yeah, of course.
Did you see that they greenlighted Accountant 2?
No, but I am so happy. Please tell me that information. Is it it's a theatrical film and not a TV show? Because that was the last I heard. They were gonna try to
I read it earlier today. I think it's still Accountant 2 gets clarifying update after Ben Affleck joins new Netflix thriller. So I think when they asked him, I think they're looking to shoot it this year. And he's going to and the Punisher is going to be in it too, right? Because that's his brother.
Well, yeah, it's his brother. Like, my feelings on that. I think that's the best Batman movie ever made. I think that's just fantastic. The entire thing is a superhero movie. Yeah. And like, people are like, no, it's not. I'm like, bro, like, looks out for the underdog, gets paid in prop replicas.
Well,
that's a fucking superhero movie, man.
He uses his money for what any semi, autistic, nerdy kid would if he, like, I think I would probably do the same.
What are you saying, Steve?
No, exactly. This, not only would I have like the, my scanners poster, but I'd have some like, the exploded head sitting on the floor over there,
Yeah, no kidding.
But
well, that's fantastic news. Did Anna Kendrick? She must have signed up for it too, right?
I think the only two people that are I think it has to do. I think if Ben Affleck has some new Netflix thing starting.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool if it's a new adventure, but she was part of the appeal to it for me. That she was like Patton Oswalt joke about the old Carney as a clown showing up at the neighbor's kids thing. It's like her character was 100% like, I don't approve of all this stuff, but I'm kind of interested to see where it goes. And like, I love characters like that in movies because that's how I am as an audience member, right? I'm like, I don't know, you got to pull me in, but I am mildly interested. I'll sit. I'm paying the ticket. I'm using my attention, and
But
it works out usually.
didn't they kind of like, how do I say it? Didn't they kind of make it at the end where like he leaves her? Well, not spoiler. He leaves her like the painting, right?
Yes, that's
So
the
you
end of it.
kind of like, I to me, it's kind of like you don't. Do you not need her in the next adventure?
No, you kind of don't, right? Because she's just the girlfriend, right?
Right.
But I think that's really cool if you kind of use her as, the John Watson, right?
Sure. Okay.
Because
Okay.
he's got the guy in the chair back at
Yeah.
his old camp. And if you use her as the interface into the real world, like the Ben Stiller character in Zero Effect, that's probably closer, right? Where you
Okay.
have somebody that's clearly autistic, but using their powers for good because of a fucked up childhood. Man, now I want to see Zero Effect and Accountant team up, right? Anyway, I think so. You kind of need that character, and plus, it's Anna Kendrick. So if she
Yeah.
wants to like hold out for contract negotiations, that's fine. We'll just give it a bump. We need her for the movie. It's awesome.
Yeah. I guess I got to go back and watch that again. I feel
Oh
like
man, I love that. It's full. It's like a Vertigo graphic novel. It's like they ask you to buy one weird thing, and then it's just like it's the whole thing is shot like it's drawn by Eduardo Risso anyway.
it's true.
So that's a really good movie. I like that a lot.
Yeah. It's funny. It's another one of that like niche action movie where it's like, and I guess it's a different level, right? Because weren't we chatting about it the other day, like about like there's Beekeeper and like the Bricklayer and Nobody and like John Wick. There's like this,
Yeah.
like there's like this. Don't talk about this killer guy.
Right.
Even if you really think back, like Taken's probably the first one that kind of gets that all rolling.
Well,
Like
it's like Death Wish, right? There's always like the old guy who's just
yes,
not
okay,
going to have it anymore, and
true.
it's because he fought in Vietnam or whatever.
But it took a million years from the jump from Death Wish to get to like, I feel like Taken was the next one that kind of like,
yeah, no, it definitely bumped the beach ball. You're right.
Yeah. But then
There's
like
Taken 4. I mean, you're right.
yeah. Well, but then there's like, I guess would the accountant be? Well, because then I'm thinking like, okay, then you have like the Equalizer, which is like the Denzel Washington stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of like it's an easy. I don't know. I feel like it's I speak from no perspective or experience, but like I feel like that's probably a pretty easy script to write.
Well, sure, because every writer is really pissed off at the world, right? So yeah, that's an easy one for most people who are banging out 120 pages. I mean, during the coronavirus, we went on a serious Liam Neeson kick, and God bless that guy because he was making a new movie every 2 weeks, as far as we could tell, and it always had like the most generic stuff and like title ever. Like when you said maximum risk, it actually made me think of that. It's like, vertical limit.
Yeah. Well,
wooden step ladder. It's like what?
Yeah, like retribution, memory, nonstop. He did one which is awesome. Which again, I should probably take note. I can't think of what it's called, but it's a remake of a Swedish film. What the hell is it called? I'm looking it up as we speak.
Well, Cold Pursuit.
Cold Pursuit.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a remake.
Every once in a while we would note that in the credits in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm like, where are these movies coming from? And it's like, oh, it only takes a week to rewrite it because you're just translating it into English, right?
So it's a remake, and instead of it being what's it? I can't think of.
Would stepladder to the heightening. Okay, I know that since we're doing this, let's just give Chris his thing too. I love that he thinks he's Pillboy from from The Good Place. It's so fun to be pals with Chris because every time Eugene Cordero shows up in something genre, he like starts clapping like they're related.
Oh, I love it.
Like he showed up in a Mandalorian episode
Yep.
for like 30 seconds, and Chris was like, I gotta take the day off. Like I gotta make sure I don't miss this. I'm kidding. It's awesome. I think that every time Kurt Russell shows up somewhere. Anyway,
Same.
yeah. So tell Hector Mark's in a meeting. So we haven't banned him.
Real work.
But we'll show up in another 15 minutes or so.
But no, I was gonna say the Cold Pursuit.
Okay.
The original is In Order of Disappearance, which is kind of cool. Like cooler title. Yeah. But it's Skarsgård, the dad.
Of course. The entire family of Skarsgårds.
Yeah, so
they're like the European Baldwins, as I understand it.
But he's great in it. And it's 100% Swedish. And who's his now this is the problem. I get him confused.
Yeah.
Who's his brother? Is because I think Ray Winstone is his brother in Ray Winstone, who I love. He's in Sexy Beast. Is in the remake with Liam Neeson. He's Liam Neeson's brother in the Cold Pursuit version. But the original is pretty good too. It's the same movie. They do not.
They don't even have to change it.
Yeah, but I think, do they still have the Native American element to it? I think that's the only element that's a little different. Because I think in the one with Liam Neeson, it's in like Denver or Colorado or wherever it is. So they kind of deal with like the Native American reservation. They're the big mob, and I think. Anyway,
I keep going back to what you were saying about it. That must be so easy to write because you just realize every single one follows a template, right? Here's this guy who's just been beaten up by life, and he's probably drinking really heavily or popping some pills because of that time he hurt his knee, and saving that kid, and the mayor didn't respect him, And then there's just one last thing that pisses him off, and he's like, "Let's go." And then you just, then it's a 120-minute film, but it's a 30-page script because you just have to go 10-minute car chase.
Have you seen the latest Equalizer?
I haven't. I've been
okay. You pretty much any of those. You pretty much nailed down like. He's there to do something in the beginning, and he does it. And because of where he is, the circumstances, he then gets put in a different thing, and then he's just like, "This is pissing me off. I need to equalize."
Yeah, things got to be equalized.
Right.
You remember Bennett at Comics Experience, right?
I think I've met him once.
Punk rock guy. We were. It was just dead one night. It was raining or something, and we were just talking nonsense and. We decided we were going to throw every police cliche from every cop show and movie at each other. And it just, you could do it. It's like you start with I need 24, I need 48 hours. No, you get 24. I need your badge. All that shit.
Right.
And then we did that like back and forth for like 30 seconds, which is a long time when you're just going bang, 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 bang. Until at the same time, these both cartoonish lights went on over our heads because we realized we were basically just telling each other the plot of Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I thought that was so awesome that Shane Black took every stupid cop show cliche and put it in a linear narrative where it all just it doesn't stand out as oh, here's the trope. It's like, no, this whole thing is a giant trope from beginning to end. Buckle up, let's go. And I was like, oh man, that's why I like Shane Black.
Yeah,
that's why I followed that guy's career ever since.
Oh, I'll watch anything he does, even if it looks like shit. But no, my favorite part of Lethal Weapon, I think it's my favorite. I think it's Mark.
It's like he's here.
right. My favorite part is the idea that Danny Glover has a semi-gray beard, so he decides to shave it off because he's getting too old to do his job. Yeah. And then you realize he's like 45.
Yeah.
And you're like,
somebody did that math. He was like 45 or 48 or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Hollywood.
Yeah. But then if you really think about it, if he was a college graduate, he 22, he would be a cop for almost 20 years, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he probably is sort of. I mean, being a cop, 45 probably is ancient, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't know what the retirement age is.
But,
I'll never know what that
know.
is. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
But
Yeah,
that's what I want to do with all those other cliches. It seems like, oh yeah, here comes the inmate guy. You know the thing about Hector Gonzalez? He used to be a jail bouncer. What do they call those guys?
what
Jailers.
like
In a prison, yeah.
like not a warden, but like
No, he's the guard, right?
corrections officer.
Gons, tell us what your what it said on your resume.
Corrections officer, right?
He's a prison bouncer.
Corrections officer. Yeah.
There you go. Every once in a while, he'll pop something on his Facebook will come up. They'll have some kind of weird key, and he'll go, "Yeah, if you know," and it's like, well, I've never been inside. Nobody calls me an inmate, but I have seen television. I know what those are, man. Bouncer. No, that's what I say. It's like first you're a bouncer, then you're a prison bouncer. It's like the same skill set, right? Just one is like you're throwing people out, and the other one's you're keeping people in.
I guess both of you might get shanked, so that kind of makes sense. The evolution makes sense. It's just more,
There's got to be a cocktail called the Shank. That's a decent name for a drink. Can I get 3 shanks, please? Anyway. Good to see old Hector. He was on vacation somewhere, Hawaii or something, doing his swimming around, and I love that because he does open water swimming, but like a human being. So
not like Mimi, where
of all the friends that I have, he's like, dude, you're white. I'm like, I know, and he's like, no, I know. I'm like, I know. It's really funny.
She does it in like where the boats pass by. Like
she's just nuts. It's too cold.
Yeah,
it's too
funny.
Yeah. Anyway,
I was gonna ask, have they dropped some more footage of the new Dune movie? A little bit.
I haven't seen anything. I haven't even seen the end of Monarch, which I feel like I wake up every morning and I got to say to Kurt, bless me, Father, for I've sinned. Also, please tell Chris Sagasai I'm very sorry I haven't seen the end of Monarch yet. It's so funny, though. All those bitches that are like, spoilers! I'm like, dude, when the end of Monarch was out like 2 weeks ago, I haven't heard anybody say anything other than somebody like Chris going, wow, that was fantastic. It's like, I don't know. Does Godzilla show up? King Kong have a fight? Probably, but like, what are they smiling? Anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, I'm gonna go watch it after this.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing to finish. I actually just, and I know we chatted about it last week. I just finished Reacher the other day.
Oh yeah.
Did you? Are you all? Are you?
Yeah, we're all done. Oh, I love Reacher. That was great.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it because I think the way you and there was an easy thing to do at the end where you could have been like, oh, he's like, and this is the cynic in me, but like at the end I was like, oh my God, he's gonna like hug her or something, like, you know what I'm talking about at the end when
absolutely.
And I'm like they're gonna make him hug her or they're gonna do something, and I'm just gonna be so pissed. And then they didn't, and he just kind of like, he's like, nope, I'm just Reacher and I'm gonna get on the bus. And I was like, and I don't care about the I don't care what he said on the bus because that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
It's the action part that mattered to me.
Well, we all kind of, every
that
was brilliant because every audience member knows what he said, right?
Yes.
So I liked it because I thought they were going to straight up like end of the Incredible Hulk, like Lonely Man music on the way out.
Yeah.
And you got kind of a little mini adventure of Reacher on that bus. So I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Because that's a cool way to go in and out of stories. Like you're either coming in on the end of the last adventure and setting up the new thing, or you're like, oh man, that was fucking crazy, but look, it's werewolves, not vampires.
Yeah.
It's like, it's such a fun way to go in and out of stories.
Yeah. I thought it was good. We'll get it. I mean,
after the end of the second to the last episode, I downloaded that song, gotta step aside, let the man come through that thing.
Oh, the end of the second episode.
Whatever that. I was like,
episode. Yeah.
I remember that song, but that came out the year we got married, you know? So I don't have the like, oh man, I love that song because of all the E we were doing. You know?
Yeah.
It
But
was more like, oh, I remember that song Miley on the radio. I really quite liked it. But it really works in this Reacher episode. Better put that on my phone.
Yeah. Well, I think it already was. They already have it down to. I was reading a note that I think they have it down to the 2 books that they might do the next season on.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Like I think they've already. Listen, Amazon just keep on pumping them out. Just keep on making them.
I mean, yeah. I kind of like Reacher more than I should, really, in the pantheon of TV that I enjoy, because I'm so happy that I get to sit down and I'm not burdened with glorious purpose like I am with all the Marvel shit I know, right? So I can't fucking watch, Civil War without going, oh no, he's on that team, but
right.
There's like a weird different way I watch other action movies. And this, I never read a Reacher book. I don't fucking care. I think the Tom Cruise ones were fine.
Right.
It's just, just give me some action stuff. Oh, he's supposed to be a big guy that can kick cars, and okay, I'm down. Like, give me more of that. And
right.
I just loved everything about it.
Right.
Like,
he can be stamped.
Yeah. I know that guy didn't die because he wouldn't leave his dog. Stuff like that. Come on. Give me that all day long.
Oh, okay. Anyway. Here you go. We got some info.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, Chuck knows all this stuff. I met Chuck down in Pittsburgh, went to a Pittsburgh show, and back in the day. And man, that guy's awesome. I was actually telling Mimi, let me just go off on how cool Chuck is.
I love it.
He and his buddies have hey, there's Mark. Let me just tell this quick thing about Chuck. Mark, you know where we are in this story anyway. He has some buddies and they go and they have a movie club, and it's official. It's like us, except they make like lanyards and little pins, and like we're going to see this thing. And they always post a picture, and I fucking love it. And so I was telling Mimi this just last night, Chuck, and I'm like, I know you have one of those Dork Court pins, right? But Mimi said we're gonna make a special thing for our movie club to your movie club, so we can trade pins. All right. Hey, there's Mark.
Hey, everybody. You
Mark.
not talking about Reacher yet, for Christ's sake?
Oh God, I'll stop talking about it. Well, anyway,
we were just vamping until you got here, so we could talk about
the big news of the day.
The big news of the day.
What's the big news of the day?
Roadhouse, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of anticlimactic. I had a friend in college. We used to like send mail to each other, because it was a big thing to get mail for some reason back in the old days. And so she did this great one on one of my friends. You get a little slip at the mail room. Hey, you got a package. Oh, something from home, probably. She made this giant box for the guy, and it was like wrapped up with 6 boxes. He just kept unwrapping. There's like a tiny little box, tiny little box. You open it up, and it was like a slip of paper that said "anticlimax" on it. I thought that was awesome. And so that's how I feel about you showing up after teasing us in the comments section with your little sexy quips and stuff. And then you get on here and you're like,
anticlimax sounds like my honeymoon.
Yikes.
Yikes.
That's how Darkseid has sex, right? He searches for the anticlimax. There's a joke that has no overlap, right? Comics fans and people who have sex. Yeah. Sorry.
The real anti-life equation.
Anyway. Roadhouse.
So I am watching. I started the new Justified season, the Primeval, which was pretty great.
Agreed. Loved it.
Is it? It's still the same cast, right?
No, well, it's just Oliphant, right?
I mean, it's another adventure. He's in Detroit.
Yeah. Send him to Detroit.
I don't want to spoil anything for you, although I will say, upon the conclusion of that 6 or 8 episode thing, I bought like 3 books.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
So because it's really good. I didn't realize that, in the first season, it was just based on a short story. And they extrapolated that whole like first show from the events of this first thing where he goes to Kentucky because he's escaping the guy he killed in Miami. But I didn't realize there's a fucking whole book about that. And the end of it is he kills the guy in Miami and has to split for Kentucky. And so the thing they made the show out of is basically a mid-credit scene to this other book. And I was like, well, if that's so cool, this is a pretty rich world that old Raylan lives in. I'm in the middle of Fire on the Mountain or whatever. I don't even remember. I just buy all these books at once, and I'm like, which one's next? This one, and I just started reading.
Is it Graham Youst?
Anyway,
is that
Elmore Leonard?
What's that?
Graham Youst.
The show, yeah. Yost.
Yeah, he wrote.
Oh my
Speed.
God,
he wrote Speed. I didn't know that.
Huh.
I love Graham Yost mainly because Dave Blass, the idiot set designer from Picard, was like trying to get a job with him in public, and it was just so hilarious. Because they worked together on Justified, right? Because Graham Yost and Dave Blass was set designer in like season 5 and 6 or something. Did a great job. He's great. Mm-hmm. I don't really have no problem with the guy. Just that whole.
He's got a pretty insane writing credentials. It's nuts.
Yeah, I just watched Speed the other night.
He knows what he's doing.
You just watched Speed the other night?
Yeah.
Does the
Sandra Bullock deserves everything that she gets in her life. She is so great in that friggin' movie. It is amazing.
Wait, which one? I was laughing at Sag.
Speed.
Sandra Bullock deserves everything she gets in life?
Yeah, she's so good in Speed.
I think she deserves better than what she's got in life because that Jesse
too.
James guy, that wasn't cool. He was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Don't treat Sandy like that. You know my big Sandy story, right?
You were an extra on the net.
The net. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I get to call her Sandy because I talked to her for 10 minutes and she said, "Call me Sandy." So I'm like, all right.
Mozart's Ghost.
Can I tell you how if my wife, who I love dearly, actually, yeah, no, we were married then. No, maybe we weren't. Anyway, I probably said girlfriend just because it sounds better. I'm like, you're the person I would cast as my girlfriend in the movie of my life. And she thought that was really funny.
It's a good line.
It wasn't a line. I really think that. It's like, you know what? If you're available and the budget works out, you really need to play my wife.
I guess I didn't realize Speed's her like biggest is her blockbuster, right? That's her being
that's when she like pops out.
Yeah. Because she's in Demolition Man, which is 92, right? 91, 92.
Speed? Yeah.
That's before. Demolition Man's before. Then she gets Speed. And then it's kind of like everything's after that.
Yeah.
Huh. I guess I
Mimi
never looked
Rosenheim
at that.
is checking in right this second to make sure our Wi-Fi signal is strong.
Oh, nice.
So
far it's good. I don't know.
Yeah,
anyone in the audience has seen any glitching?
Let's give a shout out to Mimi Rosenheim, who is like, it's like calling Scotty. It's like, we need warp speed now. I don't care how it happens. We need to get out of here at the neutral zone. And he's like, motherfucker, son of a bitch. And then it comes back and like, there's fucking router parts all over the floor, sparks coming out of the walls. And she's like, does it work? And I'm like, yeah, it's great. He's like, all right, let's talk to you later. Go to bed. It's fine. Nothing to see here. And then I wake up in the morning. Everything's great. She's amazing.
That's one of my favorite lines from Voyager when like Janeway to Torres is like, I need it done in, an hour. And she goes, you got 30 minutes. And she's like, no, when I say an hour, I mean an hour. Like, I'm not.
Yeah. I remember that. That was great.
You got 2. All right.
Right when we said it.
What, you started glitching?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, well. Whatever.
So can we talk about Roadhouse or no?
I would love to. Yeah, I don't know.
I keep trying to steer the conversation away from it.
Well, all right.
Well, wait. Tell us what your hat is first. What's your hat? What's that say? Oh, it just says the end.
Just the end. I need a black hat to do my Steve cosplay.
Yeah, I liked it. It was good.
I have my Chinese Coke hat.
I love it.
The kids in San Francisco love that hat. If I'm walking around over by Lowell picking up Walker, I get double takes all the time. People, where'd you get that? And I go, China. And they're like, No, you
Oh,
did.
I just assumed.
I know. There's a thing called eBay.
I just assumed they saw a red hat with white writing, and they're like, "Oh, okay, never mind."
Like they thought it was Pete Rose or something.
You know,
Oh
like-
no, the MAGA stuff. See, that's
Yeah.
just so not even in my worldview. I don't get it when people bring it up. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
I never see it, but yes,
The
I get
rest
it.
of the world is on fire. I forgot. Let me tell you what I think about this Roadhouse abortion.
Make Coke real sugar again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? All right. So you both watched the trailer. What did you think? What was your first? Would you?
Oh, I didn't watch it yet. I was waiting for.
What? What?
I
All right,
yeah,
then
I'll watch it.
drive. Let's watch it. Let's watch it.
yes, I did not watch it either, just for this.
Oh,
very
what?
thing.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I'm kind of against this movie existing, so I didn't want to. I wanted to come into it cold, no matter who. Because I knew I would look at it with a trusted friend or a family member, Walker Young.
Okay.
So,
So here's all I will say before this.
all right, go ahead. It is.
Roadhouse is one of those movies that I think I've seen a lot of way too much, to the point where I believe Kat, we hung out at San Diego Comic-Con. It played that night. I proceeded to word for word the first 40 minutes of the movie, and she stared at me like I was, I don't know, floating or something.
No, like you're a fucking genius. Like that is the kind of thing you should know.
But anyway, so it has a very particular. There hasn't been a movie like that movie in a very, very long time. It's unique.
Before you play this, can I just say I'm against this existing because of the Colin Farrell Total Recall and the Michael Douglas RoboCop. I mean, Michael Keaton RoboCop. Like, just make this movie. I'm all for it. Just call it something different.
Yeah, but okay. Well, let's watch it. Let's watch it.
All right.
Oh,
already
you can't do audio, Mark.
Already, I don't like it.
Well, I'm useless.
You can't do the audio?
No, you can do it through yours. Yeah,
through me.
All right.
I'm not the boss. He has a particular set of skills.
Not very good ones, but some.
Just it's so of its time. Like what are you doing, right? It's like the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes. It's like, I guess you can do it. Go ahead, but like in the 80s, Patrick Swayze as a nationally known bouncer is kind of a thing you just roll with, right? Because here comes Ben Gazzara in his truck and shit. None of that really works. So the conflict has to be different, and then it's a different movie.
Ben Gazzara is the tough of the movie.
Yeah, dude. Brad Wesley. Wesley. He got J.C. Penney's in the town, dude. He's getting J.C. Penney.
That's what I mean.
You ask anybody.
No way you do that legit in 2024.
All right, there we go.
Before we start, do you have insurance? What? Your coverage good? Like, you have dental? Oh, haha. Is there a hospital nearby? Is it like too far?
About like 25 minutes, I'd say.
I just slapped you. Are you all right? What?
So you like to fight? You ever win?
No one ever wins a fight.
No.
Just watch it.
Oh, and that Dalton's his last name. His first name is Elwood. I can't even do this.
A friend of mine suggested I come talk to you. I own a roadhouse out in the Florida Keys. Lately, it's been attracting the wrong clientele. I can pay you good money. Judging by your car, you need that.
Well, I like my car.
Think about it.
I know who you are. Elwood Dalton. Big fan, man.
That guy's got a knife under his shirt. You just take a big
Well-
step back and pop me in the face. You can do it.
Tell me about this fountain. Guy's all nice, like he's Mr. Rogers or something, but then he'll haul off. Really interesting guy, overall.
Brand wants to take the roadhouse away from me. He wants to build some resort.
Oh, fine.
I was worried that people have a certain way of getting things done around here.
It's just
Oh, that's the girl from Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Ratcatcher.
Yeah.
Hey, fellas.
Looks like you're having a smashing night. Dalton! I got a tip for you. Don't let no one get this close. Come on, bro.
Let me guess. You know, threaten me. Tell me to get out of town.
Well, he's wearing Ben Gazzara's suit.
Can't be threatened.
Once Knox is on the job, it's over, baby.
Wait, who's this guy now? Is he somebody?
Conor McGregor.
When I am,
Oh,
I just can't let go.
Yeah, that's the when I usually win fights, punching through windows.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's great.
No, I just broke his arm.
I love Doug Lyman. I love him. That's gonna be great. Why call it Roadhouse, man? You're not getting.
It's interesting that
You're not
the
getting
idea
borrowed
that, like,
interest.
yeah.
You're getting borrowed hate.
I liked in the original, Dalton was just a professional, like cooler, and everyone just knew who he was. In this one, they had to like make him like a celebrity. Oh, you were a famous UFC fighter who lost and just got disappeared.
Well, that's the audience, don't you think? I mean, you, sir, as a acclaimed and award-winning comic book writer, knows that the audience now is all about like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why does that happen? Or like in the old days, you'd be like, no, the dude's shirt is just green. It literally doesn't mean anything. Why do you? But it's because dumbasses have trained the audience to be like, well, here's a whole Star Trek episode that's 60 minutes long about the guy's green shirt. You know, it's like people just have been raised to like look at, I don't know. It's weird. The audience, the pop cultural audience in 2024 is very strange from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Here's my problem.
What an insight.
Here's my only problem. If the only nod to the original is the name, I would have been fine with that.
Okay.
But you had to call him Dalton.
Yeah.
And that's where I have the problem.
I don't even care about that.
I do.
It's called Roadhouse, right? Just fucking call it Florida Keys bar generic thing. And then it doesn't matter, right? The guy's name is Dalton, and he's a former MMA. That's all fucking great. Yeah, we're Sam Elliott. Doesn't matter. Doug Lyman's directing. This is fucking great.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is like, oh, wait, this comes from this beloved movie that all of us have memorized to various degrees. You're not doing any favors. There's no borrowed interest on shitting on a beloved pop culture icon.
But you have to. To have some reference to Patrick Swayze, some reference to Sam Elliott, or some reference to Kelly Lynch. Like that's you have to add. You have to put that thread in there.
How do people not know that by now, right? It's like we were talking about last week with Lost in Space. Like adult Billy Mummy is right there, right? He probably visited the set. Why did you not cast time lost adult, what's his name? Danger Will Robinson.
Oh, I get
time lost Will Robinson as an adult. Why not cast the guy who's already an actor who played him already?
And now I haven't seen the movie, but like a 30-second phone call that Sam Elliott picks up the phone, like in a but
he died though.
Oh, he died. That's right. Yeah. And Patrick Swayze, or Kelly Lynch.
Yeah. And like, how would Dad would have handled
hey, mom, hey, mom, shit's really bad, or anything.
Your dad used to always say.
Yeah, I was trying to think you cast Selena Gomez or something as Sam Elliott's daughter, but then I was thinking, Force Ghost Sam Elliott. I stick with me. Anyway.
All right, mijo.
Wait, what was? Okay. Oh my God, I think. See, but that was the beauty of the first one, because isn't everyone trying to? He always recommends Sam Elliott.
Yeah, they want him,
and they want him. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of the first one is so everyone knows Dalton.
Yeah, somehow.
But
the famous cooler.
Yeah, but he wants everyone to always hire Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we don't
Who
want
trained him?
Who? Yeah, right? Oh man, I know what I'm watching tonight. So whatever.
Wait, it's not available yet, is it?
Not this new movie. Who's watching
what?
this shit?
Oh man.
No,
Miho's
right.
Revenge.
What is it? Yeah, Miho's. I love it. Yeah, Wade Garrett, right? Wade Garrett. Wade.
Famous Southern Sam Elliott grew up in the wilds of Sacramento.
That's right. The voice
Did he
of
really?
Yeah.
I love his quote.
was
Everybody's
Professor.
talking about his voice now and everything, and he's like, I didn't always sound like this. it's just so funny, It's like there's a lot of whiskey and cigarettes that make my voice sound like that. I don't know.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which
Wait, you guys mentioned Bill Murray before too. Is he popping up somehow in some way, or
Okay.
Oh,
So
you gotta hear this story.
Well, you
Okay.
go on, Larry. You go for it.
No, you tell it, Steve. It's awesome.
Anyway,
It's-
I guess we'll collaborate.
Okay.
I guess every time Bill Murray watches Roadhouse, he calls Kelly Lynch, or does he call Kelly Lynch, or does he call her
Oh
husband?
no, so it's not just him. When Kelly Lynch tells the story, it's Bill Murray and his idiot brothers, and because Roadhouse is playing somewhere on the planet 24 hours a day, it's always on, and they're always watching television. And Bill Murray's friends with Mitch Glazer, who is
That's one
Kelly
of
Lynch's
one of his best friends. Yes.
husband, and so he just calls him up and goes, "Hey, your wife is having sex with Patrick Swayze, right? Oh, he's tagging her on the rock." He'll just narrate it, and because they're friends, it's like this funny thing. And in the article that I posted on my Facebook today, they quote her as telling this story, and Mitch Glazer is walking by, and she goes, "What? Oh my God!" No, Mitch is walking by. He's going to set right now, and he just said, "Yeah, Bill called him once from Russia." So I love that Roadhouse was playing in Russia, and Bill Murray's in Russia for some reason. It's like, oh, I gotta give me the states. Mitch Glazer's got to know.
But essentially, Mitch Glazer was a producer now, but I think he was a writer on like SNL, so he's known like Bill Murray for like ever. So the fact that they work together like on Scrooged and like a lot, like, and he knows the family and all that stuff. So to the Larry's point, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, it's like that weird little like dynamic of like having that like insanely long-term friend that you have like this running joke with, and he just happened to marry like one of the hottest women in the world, Kelly Lynch.
Yeah, not just that, but then your best friend has two other brothers who are just as idiots as
exactly.
he is.
Yeah.
So it's not just like one guy playing the joke, it's three of them.
Yeah.
Right? So, it's pretty funny.
It's funny. Mitch Glazer kind of looks like Sam Elliott.
Wow, who doesn't?
Full circle.
I'm still fascinated by. I need to figure out a way to make a Wade Garrett Force Ghost, Star Wars Force Ghost. Like I kind of want that action figure.
Yeah, there's gotta be a Sam Elliott action figure, right? He's been in Mission Impossible genre.
Oh, isn't he General Ross?
Oh yeah, there's got to be
He
a
is,
Thunderbolt
that's
Ross
right.
action figure.
So
so there you go. Just cast that in clear resin. You're all good.
Well, tell Walker I'm sending him a bin of clear resin for the 3D printer to start pumping out my Wade Garrett.
Your life-size Wade Garrett.
I haven't been in trouble for a little while with the missus over pop culture stuff, but apparently my son goes, "Hey, my friend Shannon Wendlake." Shout out to Shannon. She's probably not watching this. Why would she? But I'll clip this and go, "Shannon, you're awesome." She's a lady I know through movie props and collecting, and she loves the Marvel helmets. So she got a fucking Novacore helmet the second they showed up on screen. She's like John Denver, right? Like, hello, yeah, no, I need to have this happen. Yeah, no, I'm a really innocent person. You don't know. No, have that asshole killed. Okay, thank you. that's Shannon, right? And anyway, so Walker found a 3D print of the Novacore helmet, and that's as close as I'm going to get to a good one. So I spent like the $1,000 on the real gunmetal pla and the super shiny gold pla and the crystallized ruby pla. So because we're gonna do this cool thing where he's doing his version with his new skills that he's learned and YouTube stuff, and I'm just gonna do the old school stuff, and we're gonna present that, and that's gonna be a Dark Court article.
Oh, I love it.
The news guys versus the old guys. But I'm cheating by getting. I spent like $100 on pla, and so Mimi's like, I don't get it. Like you have the pla here, and then you have paint, and that's what you do. And I'm like, no, we're testing it out. It's a new thing. I'm just gonna do it. And she's like, yeah, no, I don't get it. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be great. Yeah, she was like, she didn't like that
moment.
She just didn't understand. I couldn't tell her that the thing she didn't like, that it seemed like we're using 2 times the resources for this one project, was the point of the project, right? Like Walker's going to do it his way, and I'm going to do it my way. The the old man has a lot of money and can spend it on good stuff, so he doesn't have to sit there and stand for 3 weeks.
Or then paint it, and then
right. Steve knows as a dad. What, I can pay a little more money and have this done quicker?
Yeah,
that's
done.
Great.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Mommy doesn't like that sometimes. No, you put the elbow grease in.
You mean I can just go to Joanne's Fabrics and just go pick up a big thing of fluff, and I don't have to deal with all this bullshit?
Exactly.
You know what? Give me 20 minutes. I'll be right back.
Right. Think about it for 20 minutes. Oh, I got to get something out in the car.
Right.
Wait,
exactly.
when's this thing due? Tomorrow? Oh yeah, fuck that.
Right. Exactly. Oh wait, I can just throw money at this problem to make it go away? Yes, please have some.
Oh.
Yes, have some.
351. Speaking of which, our friend Kevin Kamarley, who dresses up like Louis Tully, they had a cool thing at his base in Minnesota or whatever. They all got snowed in, so everybody decided to dress up. And Kev, of course, wins because he looks like Louis. He has the Louis Tully thing. Speaking of have some with he couldn't find his colander for a little while, and that was his wife's got the Sigourney Weaver red dress. Their little infant baby's got a Stay Puft Marshmallow thing. It's all fantastic, except Kev can't find his colander, and it's not like he can just like pop down to Party City and get a Batman mask.
Yeah. So is that a?
That was me again.
Yeah. How do you find a 1983 kitchen colander that looks exactly like that? Is it
anyway?
And you're on an army
base. I don't mean to leave you in suspense, but he found it. Air Force. Kev's an Air Force Dennis. He's a major Kevin Kamarley. He's a good guy.
You say dentist?
Holy Kev. Yes.
Huh.
I know him through props, and because he's my friend that is insane for accuracy, and I used to give him a hard time about it until I realized that's his job, right? Like inside somebody's mouth, a millimeter where that tooth goes is a big fucking deal, right? Yeah. And so I'm sure that translates into this ion bar on the back of your Ghostbusters thing. That's ion bar A from the first movie. This ion bar B, you can tell because that's copper and not bronze. To a regular person, they'd be like, whatever. The soccer moms look and go, that's a Ghostbuster, right?
Yeah.
But Kev, his professional life is all about making things perfect. So of course he can't just throw that out when he's like, yeah, close enough. That's No.
I like that though. I
love it, but it took me a second to adjust that because I'm Mr. Close Enough, right? Are all the kids laughing? The dads are like right on. The girls are getting pictures with you. I'm good. He's like, no, that's the wrong iron bar.
Well, listen,
I still love going to like the flea markets with you, where you're like, hey, look at that 1920s calculator. I'm like, yeah, what about it? You're like, if you paint it and turn it upside down and put it on the side of a backpack, it's the replica from this 1920s episode of Star. I'm like, what the? Shut up. How do you know that?
I'm a little insufferable about that stuff.
You know what? I got a better story. I was at Comic-Con with Larry the one time, and we're just wandering around, and we go to this one booth that has some prop stuff, and it had a lightsaber. Remember? It had and you were like a legit, like authentic old version lightsaber. And Larry's like, whose lightsaber is that? And they're like, what do you mean? He goes, because supposedly it's like one of the like legit, right? Was it like history? All I remember is Larry was like, is it so-and-so's lightsaber? And he's glitching. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I totally do. It was Gary, the producer, Gary Kurtz. I was like, is this Gary Kurtz's lightsaber? Well, because the real ones are known, like where they are, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's like that
it
scene in
too,
Batman vs Superman.
It was.
The real sword is hanging over the Sultan of Akrabar or whatever.
Yeah, I love like when Arnold just did his thing yelling at Trump a year or two ago, and he's like, "Yes, when I was governor of California, now I have the Conan sword, and we have to save everyone." It's like, no, dude, that's a Marta from Spain replica. That's not because what's his name, Peter Allen. I saw that up in the real Conan sword up in Seattle in this sci-fi pop culture museum. He's like, no, this is Conan sword. Yeah, all right.
Well, wasn't it like Rob Liefeld trying to buy like the original Conan sword? Wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? There's a lot, you know, in props. There's a lot of like even legit. There's like there'll be 5 hero things, right? Because if you ruin a costume and then that's it, you can't just stop the production. You have to like give Russell Crowe his leather jockstrap back.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was a funny thing. He started selling all his stuff because he got into a divorce. And so he's just like going to pay for everything with his movie prop stuff. But he kept a couple things. And so there was a big thing where it's like, oh, this is Russell. This is Russell Crowe's armor from Gladiator. And then Russell Crowe shows up on Twitter and is like, no, it isn't. I have it. Here's a picture of me with my fucking armor. I don't know what that is. Oh, that was so funny because all the guys are like, oh, well, I know a guy who did this and told me it was from that. And like, that's what you have to deal with sometimes in movie props. But it is pretty cool. Yeah. No, that's not. I have it. It's just great.
I just like that you do props with a guy in the Air Force because airplane props. And
yeah.
I was sitting on that joke for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, if I don't say it, I'll kill myself.
I'm glad you said it. Sometimes these things need to go out into the world.
Woof.
I'm sure he's never heard that.
Yeah, totally unique.
Totally think about it. Like you guys, you just Mark, you just redid your office area. Steve, you got your new thing going down there. I've got my Star Trek parlor. Pretty much, it needs to be cleaned, but it's pretty good. But old Kev, he gets reassigned every couple of years.
Yeah.
So just imagine taking all the stuff in your office and just moving it to San Antonio now, because that's where you work. And then 2 years later, it's like, I guess we're going up to Minnesota now. And he has all these pictures, and all his props are like, he has slat walls. He just puts slat walls up wherever he is, hangs everything up in the exact same spot. It's awesome, but I wouldn't like that.
Could you imagine I just assume Larry just opens up random boxes and like things just come out of it. Like, oh my God, what the hell is this? I don't even.
Oh, like a Chewbacca mask.
Yeah.
That did happen. I did. Yeah, that stuff. Those boxes. I found some cool stuff. I did do you know what Sculpey is? That little clay that you can fire in an oven. You don't need a kiln.
Oh yeah.
So when I was in high school, I used to make my figures up 6 or 8 inches tall and make cool things. And I did a Wolverine, and so I found that.
You got to take a picture of it.
I will. I'm trying to decide. Walker's doing he has a ceramics class right now, so he's doing a Wolverine animal.
Okay.
Because they're supposed to do animal figures, so we're gonna present that as a door court thing too.
Nice.
Like here's 2 Wolverines. Here's my dad when he was 16, and here's me.
That's awesome.
16. Yeah, that's cool.
I remember we were at Comic-Con one year, and I took too much of Steve's tinctures, and I got super baked on the floor. And you were telling me a story about the Millennium Falcon that you built. And you kept on having to, you were like, in the Millennium Falcon, and we moved it, and then it was in the garage. And I was like, so wait, what happened to it? And you were like, oh, it was in the garage. And then, I'm like, but what happened to it? And you were like, you all right, buddy? I'm like, huh? And then I stood up and then sat back down. I was like, oh no, I'm in trouble.
This is why I gave it to you, man, because it would. There,
Yeah.
some of them were just too funny.
I'm seeing double. 4 crusties.
What do you?
On
What do
that
you
note,
well, I was going to say. All I was going to say is, let's.
I heard
prioritize.
most of that.
What do you think is the what do you think the big thing at Comic-Con is going to be?
Oh, this year?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a great question because this year is pretty dead because of the various production issues from the Rona and
Yeah.
the strikes and everything. There's only a couple Marvel projects. I can't think of anything where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see that.
yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
maybe Marvel will announce their new like Kangless direction, or how are they going to handle that kind of situation?
Possible.
Oh, come on.
Galactus,
The
Fantastic
easiest way to do that. It's all right there. It's just you just
Yeah.
cast
I mean,
three or
there's
four
a-
different guys.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
there you
that
go.
comes out right before though, because there's like you have like the new Mad Max movie that comes out before.
Mhm.
You have Furiosa that comes out before. You have the new Planet of the Apes movie that comes out before, and then I think directly the week after. Is it July? When's Comic-Con? July?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the third week of
Huh?
July.
Yeah, Deadpool comes out the 26th.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's huge.
wait, that's after the show though. That makes me sad.
And then the
Yeah.
Alien thing comes. I think Alien comes out after it, and then Romulus, Craven comes out after, Beetlejuice comes after. I was just trying to think of like what could it be? What would be the big thing? I don't know. Just
Yeah,
you gotta figure.
I don't. No, I was just gonna say I can't think even of that list. I just remain unexcited about like all this stuff. As an audience member, like streaming killed my whole like appointment television thing. And so now there's really no way for us to even talk about it. Just look at the three of us. Unless we go to a movie at the same time, we're going to, by definition, experience stuff at different times.
For sure.
So then that immediately makes things not as important or vital or, And so then it leads to like, all right. Yeah, new Planet of the Apes. That sounds great. It's like Planet of the Apes is one of my top 5 movies ever. But I don't care. That's cool. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure I'll love it. Like Furiosa. Oh, I'm sure it'll be great. Really enjoyed the Fury, but I just even Dune 2, man. Unless they let me buy a $20 ticket and watch the whole first one again, and then get some dinner and watch the second one all at once, I'm not gonna like it as much.
Hold on, I'm checking if I can buy advance tickets yet. I didn't even look.
Of course you are. We should tell the folks, man. If you want,
I spelled Dune wrong.
Oh, look at that! I think maybe I can buy advance tickets. Hold on.
So
What,
are they
Dune 2?
doing a thing that's like both of them, or just one night where?
Fan first premieres in IMAX.
Oh yes, please.
AMC. Hold on.
I'll get my still suit out.
Advance tickets. Let me see. Can I buy tickets?
Yeah, I'll be sitting next to you. I'll hear you just slurping. And I'm like, what are you drinking? You're like, don't worry about it. Recycled urine, baby.
Dune 2. I like that.
Dude, on Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Metreon.
Oh, my connection's fairly good now.
Huh.
Metreon's a
Well,
good place to
Yeah.
watch
I don't know.
a show. Their IMAX is a pretty good screen there.
That seat looks pretty packed. What's the other one we go to?
Already, huh?
Nah.
Well, there's that one at
Daly
Stonestown, the
City,
Regal.
no.
We go to
that-
Daly City 20, yeah.
Is that okay? All right, let me do some snooping.
Do some research.
All right.
Good old Steve.
Oh, I got to get back to the dildos.
yeah, 4:00. Let's roll it up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome
Well,
to talk to you guys.
Always a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Thanks to
Thanks for everyone
everybody.
who tuned in.
Chuck and Hector giving us the good stuff. Sag, of course.
and the fourth person who left when he joined. So
It was me.
yeah, I know.
It was me.
Awesome. All right, guys.
Okay.
Chat
All
later.
right. Thanks, guys. That was awesome.